Reese, you still there?
Hey, shout out to everybody who came out today. Welcome to Cali's Take. And I appreciate all you coming by, giving me a little bit of your time today. Really appreciate that. Always, please like, subscribe. You know what to do. Hit the notification bell also so you can get the newest content first. And you also want to hit the notification bell so you can get the content I put out on the weekends. Put out new videos every day, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. I got bonus videos on weekends. So like I said, I put out new videos every day. So check me out. You won't miss any content as long as you come. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So, you know, some of the analysts today, Nick Wright, not wanting to give the Clippers any credit for what happened last night, basically trying to overshadow what happened, and not really trying to give any credit. I can tell just by the way, his approach when they presented the question to him first this morning, but it doesn't really matter. The Clippers don't need any credit from him. He's a non-validated analyst to any Clippers fan or pretty much any basketball fan, unless you're, 100% LeBron James, fan who don't appreciate any other players in the NBA. And I haven't met many people like that since I've been covering the sport of the NBA or any sports in particular. But there are some people out there who just, respect LeBron and think LeBron's the best and he's the only good player in the NBA. None others are good. And I also respect people like that as well because that's their opinion. But at the same time, as an NBA analyst or sports analyst, you have to critique based upon what you see. And to me, that's not what Nick Wright does. We're not going to make this take about him. We're just going to say that the Clippers have showed up the last two games. They played the way they were supposed to. They played with a sense of urgency. They played as the more desperate team, and they played as a team that was more hungry. And you can tell when you look at this team, when you look at what they did, when you look at the overall of the situation, the totality. A lot of people thought by today the Clippers would be eliminated. A lot of people thought the Clippers would be swept. A lot of people and a lot of analysts were writing them off, and there were some fans out there, on Twitter and stuff like that, writing the Clippers off. But that's okay. You can write a team off all you want, but it's never over till it's over. Like I said in one of my previous videos, and that's just the way you got to look at it. First of all, you look on the Clippers, there's got to be some pride and some dignity on there because you have a two-time champion in Kawhi Leonard. You have a multi-time champion, I think two-time champion also in Rajon Rondo. Then like I said, Paul George's been around the block a few times. He's been in the league for several years. Marcus Morris, so is Reggie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Then Ty Lue has coached, a team to the championship, even though I think LeBron did most of the coaching, but Ty Lue did have his input there because he was the head coach. He had that role. So he knows what it's like to win a championship and he knows what the process is. And that's my point. When you have players like that, that can make all the difference in the series. And nor am I saying this series is over with because, you got to win 4 games. And I stick to that. You got to win it. We can sit there and say anything we want, but the Clippers got to win 4. And that's just the way it is. Ty Lue said last night they haven't done anything yet. And, he's right about that. So I definitely agree with Ty Lue there. I do hope the Clippers continue what they're doing because, like I said, their sense of urgency and them playing with the mindset of we're the better team, we're more hungry, and every game is a game 7 at this point. That's going to get them to win this series and even more after this series. So it's like, the mindset they have right now is good. And shout out to Kawhi Leonard, man. That's my favorite player in the NBA. I've been on record saying that. And it's the reason why he's my favorite player, because when I look at, how he plays and how he understands critical moments in the game and what he needs to do, I think Kawhi Leonard is probably the best player in the NBA in my opinion, because when Kawhi doesn't play defense like he used to in San Antonio in the regular season. But in the playoffs, I've always noticed Kawhi picks up his defense and he maintains his offense in the playoffs. And what I'm saying is, that is the best two-way player in the NBA. Because when it matters the most, I know what Kawhi is going to give me. He is consistent. He is overly consistent, and he is the best at what he does. This guy goes out there and he is shooting over 65% from the field. He is not missing half these shots. And, last night when you looked at the game, Kawhi Leonard, I don't even think he took a jump shot until like the second half. I mean, he might have took one jump shot in the first half, maybe two, maybe, but his whole mentality was downhill, straight to the basket, and I'm going to kill this team and make them work for everything on the defensive end. And that's what you have to do as a team. Don't bail teams out by shooting threes all night because that's less defense they have to play on you. But when you're driving downhill, when you're going to the basket, driving into the teeth of their defense, making them respect you, it demoralizes the team. And that's exactly what it's doing to Dallas. It's demoralizing them. Paul George is getting into the paint, showing his 6'9" height the way he always should have been. Kawhi Leonard's been doing it. Kawhi Leonard's been shooting at a high percentage, a high clip, like he always does, really consistent. And that's what matters. Your two superstars are putting their head down, putting the ball on the floor, going straight to the basket, and making this Dallas Mavericks team pay. And now all of a sudden, the series looks a lot different. Now all of a sudden, Luka is not smiling as much. He's not laughing as much. Now all of a sudden, Luka's hurt. And I'm not going to say Luka's faking an injury because I don't believe he's that type of guy. I really don't. But at the same time, you wasn't hurt when you was up 2-0. You wasn't hurt in game 3 when you was up 30-11. All of a sudden, you get hurt or start feeling this so-called pain when the Clippers made a comeback in game 3 and cut the game to 4 or 5 points. Then all of a sudden, everybody's remotely worried about your shoulder and now potentially your neck injury. I don't want to hear any excuses because, honestly, Kawhi Leonard's playing with a foot injury. Nobody wants to talk about that. Kawhi Leonard had a foot injury before the playoffs started, and he had a hand injury. I'm pretty sure Paul George is banged up too somewhere. It's just a part of the game. You're not going to play 72, 82 games and then go into the playoffs 100% healthy. It's not going to happen. That is a lot of wear and tear on the body, and you have to play through them if you're a superstar, if you're a man, if you have that fortitude. And I don't want to hear any excuses for anybody because there's no excuses for any other superstar, so there shouldn't be none for Luka. So what I'm saying is, now that the Clippers, have kind of gained momentum back a little bit, they have home court advantage. It's a big game Wednesday. It gives everybody a chance to rest up a little bit, gives everybody a chance to kind of, find themselves a little bit. And I really hope that the Clippers go ahead and, make a statement in game 3 as well. Because even though I know the Mavericks going to come out and, show the adjustments that they made. And I know they're going to do this because Rick Carlisle is an adjustment type coach. He is going to do that. Hopefully Ty Lue, stands ground to what he has and make in-game adjustments as he sees fit based upon what the Dallas Mavericks does. Because honestly, the fact that nobody's won a home game in this series makes this the wildest series in the NBA right now. So hopefully the Clippers can pull out a home win so they can actually, get some validity in this series and take the lead and take commanding lead and go ahead and put this team away. So my point is this. What a great game last night. What a great 2 games from Friday to Sunday. Very, very wild roller coaster type, especially Friday. Friday night game, game 3, but game 4 was really a statement for the Clippers, and hopefully they can keep that statement going, and hopefully they can keep their thought process of game 7 mentality all out. Let it all out on the line, lock everybody down defensively, make them work for everything they get. Hopefully they keep that mentality the whole series or the rest of the series because they're definitely going to need it. And if they get past the Dallas Mavericks, they're definitely going to need it for the following round going forward because whoever they play in the next round, whether it's Denver, Utah, whoever it is, it's going to be tough if they make it that far. But like I said, it's still 2-2, still tie series. And the Clippers still have more to prove, and that's just the way it is. But shout out to, like I said, PG and Kawhi, especially Kawhi Leonard. I mean, man's been playing just unbelievable, absolutely flawless basketball. I mean, I think he's, like I said, I think he's shooting 65+% from the field, 40+% from three, and he's shooting like 88% from the free throw line. I mean, that's 60, 40, 90, just about. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I don't think nobody in the playoffs is topping that, not even KD or LeBron. So right now, Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the playoffs, no doubt about it. But at least that's how I see it. Luka's been playing really good, though. I'm not gonna hold Luka like that. He's been playing really good. Last game he had 44, 9 and 9, which is exceptional numbers. Last night he didn't play as well. I guess everybody's gonna blame it on his shoulder and his neck injury, but like I said, it doesn't matter when you're out there on the floor. You're the product that's on the floor. That's what we see. We see the product you put out there on the floor. If you put up 19 because of a shoulder injury or because you're struggling, it doesn't matter. You put up 19 points, that's what you're worth. You're worth what you put out there on the floor. I've always said that, and I stick to that regimen because there's no other way to look at it, and that's the way it should be looked at. And like I said, for all the naysayers about the Clippers and everything like that, I'm going to sit there and say, even myself, I had doubts in this team whether they can show the fortitude of doing what they did. Even though I did believe that because they have Kawhi Leonard, it's definitely possible. And I played devil's advocate, a couple games ago because I was like, as long as you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in a series like this, anything is possible. But I just wasn't sure whether the Clippers as a team can come back and rally the way they did. And I'm so glad they did because they shut a lot of people up. And, they definitely are keeping a lot of naysayers quiet or trying to talk around the fact of what they did. And it's okay, as long as they're not saying too awfully bad things and keeping it pretty political, I would say, as long as those analysts are just kind of like, don't have much to say. That's exactly what the Clippers want. Keep those analysts quiet because anytime they get a chance, they try to knock down your confidence. And it's not even worth listening to people like Nick Wright, and analysts like that and Stephen A. Smith because, like I said, they're just frauds. And honestly, if the Clippers win this series, I do believe, Stephen A. Smith and Nick Wright need to be fired from their job. I really do because the slander and the hate they put on this team just because they lose and just because they don't like Kawhi Leonard or, something like that, it's just really a waste of time. Especially when you're looking at Kawhi Leonard, a player who has been great for years, a player who's, when healthy, is arguably top two, top three player in the league. And I don't think there's really no question about it. You got other stupid analysts like Jay Williams, who's a no damn body, never was going to be a nobody. I mean, even if he didn't have that bike wreck a long time ago, I still think he would have been trash as a player. He might have been an average player, but his game really wasn't top notch like that. And to be honest with you, you got stupid analysts like him also saying, oh, well, he named his top five about a week or two ago, and he put James Harden in his top five. And there's nothing wrong with putting James Harden in your top five, but if you have him in there, there's no way in hell you can't have a Kawhi Leonard in there. Kawhi Leonard has won championships. Kawhi Leonard has stood on top of the mountain twice as a Finals MVP along with those championships. So if you don't have a Kawhi Leonard in there, you're just dumb. You're just overly dumb. And that's exactly what Jay Williams is. And to me, honestly, I think he should do collegiate basketball analyst because I think he's probably better at that from what I see. Because I don't think he belongs anywhere near the NBA because I just think his whole repertoire is trash. And that's just what I think on him. But not to go too far into that, but it's like I said, I just can't stand when it's all this hatred towards one player and one team when there's other teams that are flailing. There's other teams that are not playing up the expectation at that moment. Because honestly, you could look at the Brooklyn Nets series against the Celtics. I mean, who would have thought the Celtics even got a game out of that? I mean, Jason Tatum go for 50, 60 points all he want, but you got three superstars, and I didn't think the Celtics would win a game, but they did. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can harp on a lot of things that you see in the NBA playoffs. It doesn't really matter. Only thing that matters at the time is, okay, the team is playing and wait till the series is over because I've seen series be down or teams be down 0-2 and come back. Hell, The Clippers just did it. Kawhi did it a couple years ago with Toronto. I mean, it's been done before. So this is what I'm saying. The slander and all that stuff the Clippers take sometimes is just really, really unnecessary just because they lose a game or two. Just say the Clippers are not playing their best. Why can't you just say something like that? You don't have to sit there and, slander the team as in like they don't even belong in the playoffs. And you don't have to slander Kawhi Leonard by saying, Luka's a better player, because Luka's not a better player. The man is shooting 40, 50% from the free throw line. No great player has ever shot worse from the free throw line. I honestly think, like I said the other night, I think Shaquille O'Neal had a better shooting percentage from the free throw line than this kid did. And don't get me wrong, Luka's a great player, but at the same time, to be a great player, to be an elite player, I mean, you have to take it to another level. And I'm not saying Luka can't, because he definitely can, but with that type of free throw shooting, he's probably not going to win championships no time soon unless he corrects that. Because to win championships, you got to be able to knock down free throws. It is that simple, and there's no other way to look at it. So my personal opinion on this series, I think it's been a great series so far. I do think the Clippers find a way to win it in 6 or 7 games. And I actually hope the Clippers do win, because I want to see, the Clippers go to the next round and see who their next opponent is, and try to make a run at the NBA Finals and win the championship. So, like I said, it's been a great series up to this point. Wednesday is the next game they play, so we'll see exactly how that pans out. We'll see exactly, what happens there. But like I said, shout out to the Clippers, man. They played defense. They played hungry. They played like a team possessed. And Kawhi Leonard was just, the machine that he's always been. He turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger, last night, in the last couple games, especially because, what I'm saying, T2 was activated. you know, um, Now it looks like Kawhi Leonard's just turned into that machine again. And it doesn't matter what any other team does. He's just going to go out there and kill them. Exactly what he did. He killed everybody in front of him. He killed Luka. He definitely obliterated Maxi Kleber, which I don't even know why they even have a Maxi Kleber on a Kawhi Leonard. That's pretty much disrespectful all on its own, because he's pretty much garbage. And, Tim Hardaway, he reverted back to his old self. He must be Tim Hardaway Sr.'s stepson, because last night he didn't look like Junior. Because if he was Junior, maybe he would have hit a couple more shots, but he didn't. Like I said, we put a little lockdown defense on him too. He just had a little stint of shooting really good, and that's great. But this is what I said, like I said before, the Dallas Mavericks, I do think they'll revert back to who they really are and come back down to earth, and I think they already have. And now it's the blame game, and now it's, oh, Luka's hurt. Nobody gives a damn about Luka's shoulder. Why don't he go get another damn shoulder? Who even cares? Go get it repaired or whatever. Nobody gives a damn. It's the playoffs. You got to play through these things. And like I said, it's sink or swim. And that's just the way it's always going to be looked at. Doesn't matter who. If you're going to slander Kawhi Leonard, then don't give Luka no passes. That's the way I feel, and that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be looked at any other way. And like I said, I've been excited about this series. It's been the best series in the playoffs to me so far. And honestly, the Clippers couldn't ask for a better weekend. They go 2-0 in the weekend, tie their series up, and the Lakers lose yesterday. And they lose Anthony Davis, who seems to be more injury prone than any other player I ever seen. But that's just another story for another day. And now it's all on LeBron. I'm not saying LeBron can't do it, but it's going to be really tough against the Phoenix Suns, where now it looks like Chris Paul is actually getting healthier. So it's going to be even tougher for them. But definitely a good weekend for the Clippers overall, and hopefully that continues. And we'll see exactly how the series goes going forward. But hey, shout out to everybody who came out today. You know what to do. Like, subscribe. As I said before, hit the notification bell if you haven't. And leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what I said. Do you agree or disagree? I'm totally fine either way, because I appreciate your take on the situation as well as I appreciate mine, even though I believe your take is a little bit more, if not very more important than mine. So I do appreciate you coming out today, checking into Callie's take. And hey, Callie out.